we found in you. Love one another, yeah, love one another, that's what we'll do. Love one another, with a love like no other that we found in you. Love one another, yeah, love one another, that's what we'll do. We're alive to love one another. We're alive with love like no other. We're alive, we're sisters and brothers. We're alive to love one another.
All right, everybody, clap your hands now. Let's make some waves together. Let's change the world. Come on. God, I'm so amazed by your goodness. I love the way that you love me. I got this joy flowing deep in my soul now. Yeah. I just want the world to see. Here we go. With your love inside me, I know I can change the world. So everybody, come on, every boy and girl, let's give this a whirl. We're making waves, no stopping, keep moving along. Making waves, everybody, all people belong. We got a lot of life to live and a lot of love to give. We're making waves. Come on. Whoa. We're making waves. Here we go. God, I'm so amazed by your goodness. I love the way that you love me. I got this joy flowing deep in my soul now. Deep in my soul. Come on. I just want the world to see. Yeah. With your love inside me, I know I can change the world. I know I can change the world. So everybody, come on, every boy and girl, let's go. Let's give this a whirl. We're making waves, no stopping, keep moving along. Making waves, everybody, all people belong. We got a lot of life to live and a lot of love to give. We're making waves. Yeah, we're making waves. Come on, we're making waves. All right, y'all, sing it like this. We're gonna make some waves today. Share your love around the world. Make some waves today. Share your love around the world. Sing it again. Make some waves today. Share your love around the world. Make some waves today. Share your love around the world. We're making waves, no stopping, keep moving along. Making waves, everybody, all people belong. We got a lot of life to live and a lot of love to give. We're making waves, no stopping, keep moving along. Making waves, everybody, all people belong. We got a lot of life to live and a lot of love to give. We're making waves. Yeah, come on, y'all. We're making waves. Let's make some waves, y'all. We're making waves. Help me, God, to see what you see. You are doing a great work in me. I've decided I can't stand still. No, you have given me purpose. All my heart is yours. All my life is yours. I will make a move for you, for you. All my heart is yours. All my life is yours. up the call to serve you. You have given me a job to do. I wanna love the world just like you, yeah. You have given me purpose. All my heart is yours. All my life is yours. I will make a move for you, for you. All my heart is yours. All my life is yours. I will make a move for you. Make a move for you. Make a move, make a move, make a move for you. I will make a move, make a move, make a move for you. I will. Make a move.
Woo! What work? Anyway, welcome to First Kids Worship, and look at this bad boy. But look around me. I mean, just take a look. See all them leaves? It all began last Saturday, and I was happily raking until last night. A windstorm has came and blew more leaves, and now I'm gonna have to clean it all up. Oh, it's a tragedy. What am I gonna do? Roll clip.
Brandon, what are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm training.
Training for what?
For the stair contest. You said that we were going to be doing a stair contest today, so I was, training, climbing the stairs.
Brandon, I said we were going to be doing a staring contest. Staring, like with your eyes.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
I'm Lawson.
And I'm Brandon, and welcome to the So-and-So Show. Hey, can I ask you a question, Lawson?
You just did.
Can I ask you another question, Lawson?
You just did.
Stop that.
You just
Stop
did.
it.
Just did. Just did. Ask your question.
Okay. When you think of having grit and toughness, what do you think of?
Beef jerky.
Okay, I'll give you that, okay? Anything else come to mind?
Ooh, my Aunt Lulu. She was a tree logger, toughest person I've ever met. A tree fell on her once, and she just caught it.
All right. Nothing else?
Sandpaper.
Cowboys.
Oh yeah, cowboys. That's what I meant to say right after, like my Aunt Lulu, and then there's beef jerky, and then I was gonna say cowboys, and then a little bit after that, there's sandpaper.
Great. Please welcome someone who knows stuff.
Well, hello, partner. What? I'm just trying to speak the lingo.
Yeah.
Come on down.
Yeah. Please tell us who you are and what you know.
Well, my name is Duke Canyon, and I'm a professional cowboy.
A real cowboy. Wow, I've never met one before. Why don't you just tell us all the things you have to do, please?
Well, you got to get up at sunrise before the cattle call, and the hours are long. but it's a thankless job. Someone's got to do it. We may be in the background, but we are important. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's true. What would we do without you? You guys help create some of my most favorite things: burgers, steaks, beef jerky.
Well, how many other cowboys do you usually work with?
Well, it depends on what we're doing. If we're in a cattle ride, could be 30 or 40 of us. If we're in a fight, might be 3 or 4 of us, or maybe 30.
A fight?
Yeah. Well, heck, we could be pushed off a cliff, pushed over a wagon, dragged through a river, or even dragged behind a horse. It's all part of the job.
What?
Yeah. Last year, I was over 50 fights. Yeah. I've had bottles broke over my head. I've had chairs broke over my back. I've been drugged behind a stampede of horses. It's all part of the job.
Why would anyone want to do a job like that?
Well, you don't quit the job because it gets hard. You got to keep going. You keep trying. It's all about pushing through, ain't it?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, I think it's about time for me to ride on out of here.
Oh, well, thanks for coming on the show. You headed back to your cattle now?
No, as a matter of fact, the next one's going to be a train robbery.
A train robbery?
Yeah, but it doesn't start filming now for another 2 weeks, so I'm going to the Bahamas.
The Bahamas?
Filming?
Yeah, I didn't tell you.
Nah.
I'm an extra and a stuntman in westerns for film and television.
Yeah.
I didn't mention that.
No.
An extra?
Yeah.
So you mean all the fighting, all the bottle breaking, the cliff throwing, and the train robbing was only in the background of a television show?
Only? Now, hold on a mo. I have you both know that I've had me skull crocked, I've had me ribs broken, and I've had me teeth knocked out. And let me tell you, it was more than a few quid to get those punched back in, too.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't know what a quid is. I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's probably the most dangerous job I know, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. Well, adios, partners.
Yeah, sure. Adios.
Adios.
Adios. And thanks again.
Bye, partner. What just happened?
I don't know if I'm disappointed or if I should chase after him for an autograph.
Same.
It's Bible story time with Kellen.
Hey guys, listen, unfortunately something has come up and I can't be with you all today, but don't worry, everything's fine. And I don't want to leave you all high and dry. So I asked my good friend Cameron and he's gonna take over for me today. All right, take it away, Cameron.
Hey guys, you know, I think I've seen that cowboy in a show or two.
Really?
I'd say that dude's got grit, no matter what his job is.
No doubt. You got a Bible story for us?
I do. It's about someone who I think has even more grit than a cowboy. Oh, and I'm gonna need your help for this story.
No problem.
It's time for Human Head Puppet Theater. Our story starts with Moses.
Let my people go.
No, we haven't gotten there yet.
Oh. You shall not pass.
We're not there yet either. Actually, we're not telling that part. Just hang on.
All right, fine.
Moses' people, the Israelites, were enslaved by the Egyptian king, Pharaoh. Moses had grown up in the Egyptian palace after being rescued by Pharaoh's daughter. Our story today starts when Moses was around 80 years old. He had long since left Egypt and was living way out in the middle of nowhere. One day, while Moses was out tending his flock of sheep, he came upon something unbelievable.
Look! A bush!
But this was no ordinary bush, because it was on fire and it wasn't burning up.
It's on fire! And it isn't burning up!
All of a sudden, a voice called to Moses from the fire.
Moses, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I have seen my people suffer in Egypt, so I have come down to save them and bring them to a good land.
Okay, God, that seems like a swell idea. See ya.
I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring the Israelites out of Egypt.
Whoa. Me? But what if no one believes that you sent me?
Throw your staff on the ground.
Right?
God turned Moses' staff into a snake.
Wah!
And then back into a staff.
Well, that was weird. It was cool, but it was weird. I'm still a little nervous about going back to Egypt.
You see, Moses didn't feel like he was the greatest public speaker or the right person for the job and wished God would send someone else. But God knew Moses had it in him, so God promised to help Moses communicate with Pharaoh. Moses' brother, Aaron, would help. God would speak to Moses. Moses would tell Aaron what God said, and Aaron would relay God's message. Before long, Aaron and Moses went to Pharaoh.
The Lord said, "Let my people go."
The Lord? Who is this you speak of, and why should I care what he says? And why is it so hot in the desert? Oh, you know what? I am not going to let your people go. Instead, I'm going to make the Israelites have to work even harder. Man, I'm a good Pharaoh.
Well, as you can imagine, the Israelites were pretty mad that Moses made things worse for them. And I think it would be safe to say that Moses was pretty upset too, and probably wanted to quit. But with God's help, Moses kept going. He went back to the Pharaoh by the Nile River.
The Lord sent me to tell you to let my people go. But you didn't. So this is how you'll know that God ain't playing. I will strike this water with my staff, and the river will turn to blood. Yeah.
Nice try. Even David Copperstream could do that. The Israelites are going nowhere.
Pharaoh was stubborn, but Moses kept going. He went to Pharaoh again and again, and Pharaoh continued to deny the Israelites freedom.
God is gonna send frogs.
Frogs? No deal. I love frog legs. They taste like chicken.
Now God's gonna send gnats and flies. Ah.
Come on. You can do better than that. What do you think bug spray's for?
Now all the cows are gonna die. You're gonna get terrible sores. There will be hailstorms. And locusts will eat all your crops.
Okay, this is getting kind of serious now. Still no.
Since Pharaoh couldn't be persuaded, a darkness fell across Egypt for 3 days. And then the last and worst plague of all. The oldest son of every Egyptian family died. Finally, Pharaoh could not deny the power of God.
Get out.
After hundreds of years, God's people were finally free. But that's not the end of the story. We'll get to that next time.
Great story, Cameron.
Yeah, thanks for your help.
Anytime. Hey, you were right. Moses had a lot of grit.
He did. He kept going when things got tough, and God was with him the whole time, helping Moses know what to do and say.
I guess like Moses, when we go through hard times,
And we will.
we just have to remember that God can help lead us through.
So we shouldn't give up.
Exactly. Sounds like you got it. I guess I'm out of here. Gonna go watch some more westerns. Adios.
Did you know Cameron spoke Spanish?
I did. Reveal the question. When have you been through a hard time?
Wow, this could be a lot of things. You could be having a hard time at school with someone picking on you, or maybe someone close to you has died.
Yeah, or maybe you're having to deal with the consequences of a choice you made that may not have been very wise.
Whatever it is, you're not alone. God knows what you're going through and doesn't want you to give up.
That's right. Man, we've been through a lot today, Lawson.
That's true. Anytime you can cover cowboys, a burning bush, and a singing Moses, you've done pretty well.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for watching. That was the So-and-So Show, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
My cowboy hat.
This is my cowboy accent. Howdy, partner. Partner.
That's your cowboy accent?
Howdy, partner.
No, howdy, partner.
Clink, clink.
What is that?
Clink, those my spurs
Oh,
there.
okay,
Tell
okay.
you
All
what.
cowboys wear spurs.
All right.
This town ain't big
It's
enough
not.
for the both of us,
No,
partner.
yeah. Draw.
Draw.
Oh, good, horns.
Here, wrap this around. Here. All right. Try to get away.
Now,
Got it.
hold her tight. Pull it in. Hold him down. No count.
No.
Yeah, that's right. We got him. Now you take a branding iron.
Oh, okay.
Hey guys, I just remembered. God knows what we're going through. And my raking won't be going very long because Christmas is a coming. What are you going to do to remember that God is with you no matter what problem you're going through? And besides, I gotta rake the leaves now. Where are you? Have a wonderful day. Make sure to click like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And remember, God made you special. And He loves you very much. Bye-bye.
There is nothing impossible. No, there is nothing too difficult. Because you're with me, I am not afraid. Nothing is too hard for you. With you, I can do very big things. God, with you, I can do very big things. I know it's true. I can do very big things. You're with me, I know it's true. I can do big things. I can do it, it's true. I'm doing very big things. I can do it, it's true. I'm doing very big things. I can do it, it's true. I'm doing very big things. I can do it, it's true. I can do it. When you are with me, I am feeling brave. When you are with me, I am not afraid. God, you are with me, so I can be strong. 'Cause nothing is too hard for you. No, with you, I can do very big things. God, with you, I can do very big things. I know it's true. I can do very big things. You're with me, I know it's true. I can do big things. I can do it, it's true. I'm doing very big things. I can do it, it's true. I'm doing very big things. I can do it, it's true. I'm doing very big things. When I'm up, I can do it. When I'm down, I can do it. All around, I can do it. God, you are with me. When I'm up, I can do it. When I'm down, I can do it. All around, I can do it. God, you are with me. Yeah, I know with you, I can do very big things. God, with you, I can do very big things. I know it's true. I can do very big things. You're with me, I know it's true. I can do big things. I can do it, it's true. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. It's true. I can do it. It's true. I can do it. Things.
Hello, my friends. Are you enjoying our first kid series about grit? God's character gives us grit. By now, we have talked about all kinds of examples about what grit means. Grit is hanging in there and doing the hard thing, even though we just want to give up. And so we've talked about in our first kids series about what helps us get through hard things and how we've journeyed with God through a lot of different things like Joseph, and how mean his brothers were to him. And Joseph had to have grit. And we've talked about how when something has turned out better than expected, we thought that we would just want to totally give up because we don't want to get through to the other side of this problem. But shockingly, things turn out much better than we expected. Have you ever had that happen? I know I have, and I'm really glad when I just hang in there and work through the hard stuff. That's kind of like how Joseph was in prison and how God used Joseph after he got out of prison, and Joseph did great things for God. And then last week, we talked about when you have helped solve a problem. I don't know if you have one that comes to mind, but you guys are amazing at solving problems. I have seen you guys do it. And I think that kids are sometimes better at solving problems than adults because as adults, we kind of have boundaries in our brains in reference to creativity that you guys don't. So you guys are amazing at solving problems. This week, we are talking about going through a hard time and hanging in there and getting through what it is that is hard. Have you ever had a hard time? I want you to know that everybody does. And you have probably had a lot of hard times. Everybody goes through tough times. I wish it wasn't so. But in our hard times, when we remember that God is with us and knows what we're going through, He can get us through and we become stronger people and we get more grit. I remember when I was very young, I loved my dog very much, and his name was Ollie. And Ollie was a terrier and a mix of a mutt. So he was just really cute and a terrier mutt, a mix of everything. And I loved Ollie. I palled around with Ollie. And I remember the day that Ollie died. And it was really hard for me. And he was young and it happened all at once. And I was angry at God. I couldn't understand why God would hurt me that much to take Ollie away from me. And at the time, we lived in a place where there were a lot of trees behind our house. And so I was able to walk around in the country. That's where we lived, is in the country. And I was able to walk around, and I remember yelling at God out loud and crying, tears running down my face because I just didn't understand why he would take away Ollie. You probably have had times where you don't understand what God has done, and maybe you want to yell and scream at God and you're mad at him too. And I want to tell you that's okay. It's okay to be angry with God. God knows what you're going through. God has led many people before you, before me, and after us through difficult times. And when we remember that God is with us, not necessarily that we understand why God does something that we feel like God has done something that hurts us, but God has not done whatever it is that hurt us. See, Ollie, I found out that Ollie got into some poison. It was not on our property, it was on the neighbor's property. And he got into some poison that ended up killing him. And so God did not do that. That was not something that God did. It's just something that happened. There were people that probably felt very bad that they had poisoned down. And I'm sure my mom and dad felt very bad that that they allowed Ollie to wander while I was at school, because it was when I got home from school that I realized what had happened. And so it's not God that did that. It's just a circumstance that happened. And God knows the circumstances that will happen in your life. And He cries with you. When you cry, He cries. And He doesn't want you to feel pain any more than you want to feel pain. And so God comes alongside you and tries to give you this big hug of His love, saying, I will help you to get through the difficult time. Just hang in there and hold on, because God is leading you through. And every time that we have a hard thing that happens and we get through it, then the next thing that is hard, we can remember that God was with us on the last one and gets us through. I was very young when that happened to me, when my dog Ollie died, but I remember that 45 years later. I remember how God got me through, even though it was really hard. And I can trust God no matter what. And you know what? You can too. You can trust God to get you through the difficult times. You can trust God to lead you through. You can trust God that He is your friend and He is your leader and He loves you so very much. So if you're going through anything difficult now, I want you to remember God's love for you. God wants the best for you. If you're not going through something difficult, the next time that it happens, I want you to remember you can trust God. And every time we get through something, God's character gives us even more grit. I love you all. Blessings to you, and see you next week.